So now that we've got our HyperStat wired up, you've got it connected to the rooftop unit and the power is on. Now what we want to be able to do is go through the quick navigation of the menu screens, show you how you can read the inputs and outputs. And then we need to get it paired up with the central control unit so that it will start communicating and sending that data up to the cloud. So we'll come down here to the HyperStat. And at the HyperStat, what we've got is we've got our touch slider here where I can adjust my desired temps up and down. That's what the users are going to use. I've got my dynamic buttons down here at the bottom. So if I want to change my mode or my fan mode, I can click that and I can locally adjust. This can be locked out in various ways that are documented in the Help Center. Primarily what we're going to want to do is make sure that all of the inputs we wired up are reading and all the outputs are properly modulating the equipment. So what we'll do is we'll press and hold the plus/minus button for about 4 seconds. And that takes me immediately into the inputs screen that's showing me all of the inputs, the sensors that are on board, as well as the thermistors and analog inputs that are coming into the back of the board. So this is how you verify that you're getting sane results from those wires, that you're not getting zeros or totally opens. And to go next, you always have to go back up. You have to make sure that your header is highlighted in orange. We hit next, then we get to outputs, and this is where you can force your fan or your compressor on. So if I select this and I want to make sure my compressor bang's on, I heard it on the roof. Boom, I know my thermostat wire, at least on the Y terminal, is good. This screen, if you ever do an override, will time out after about 10 minutes. So if you ever walk away and forget about it, you don't have to worry about it. It'll eventually time out and come back to the home screen. Otherwise, as long as you're on that screen, it'll hold that command. So what we'll do is we'll deselect, go back to the top, and then go next. And once I leave that screen, everything will also go back to the default. Here it shows me the version. More often than not, you're never going to need that. Same thing here. These are all values that can be adjusted from the CCU. This tells me which sensors I want to display in the home screen. So by default, it's going to show me humidity and CO2. But I've been in plenty of environments where they don't want to see CO2 listed on the stats all the time, especially in environments where the IAQ isn't fully under control yet. You might want to disable that as the installer to keep unnecessary questions from coming up. So we'll go next. Then we get to installer options, and the main one you care about here is going to be pair with CCU. The brightness comes up from time to time if you want to turn the brightness down in environments where light pollution is important. So we'll go down to pair with CCU, and we'll hit select. And like that, now it's going to be broadcasting the Bluetooth address, just like if you held your Bluetooth headset button for long enough to put it into advertising. So we're going to grab our central control unit, and from here we're going to go back to our gear where we do all of our setup, and we're going to add a new zone. And I'm going to call this one RTU 10, and this is going to be the warehouse. All right, and we're going to hit pair module. Again, we're walking around with the tablet. We walk right up to the stat with the tablet. We have to be within 15 feet for the Bluetooth to work. Choose my HyperStat, and then I choose which type of profile. This one has 4. It can be monitoring only, conventional rooftop unit, heat pump unit, or 2-pipe fan coil. We're going to do a conventional. Walks you through the steps if you ever forget how to put the HyperStat into pairing mode. This walks you through what those steps are that I just showed you. We'll go ahead and hit pair, and it's going to show me the available devices in a list at the top. So you can see the MAC addresses that are discoverable. And this one is 7B. You always want to make sure the last 2 characters add up. 7B is what I have. Don't choose connect manually right away. That's if you're going to replace this device without actually going to the device. So we'll go to 7B. And then we need to type in the 6-digit PIN and make sure I selected the right one. So 634217. And we hit pair. And now what we get is all of the available configuration options. So based on what you just wired up, you want to make sure you enable the options that are relevant to this piece of equipment. So if I have a 2-stage heat-cool unit, and if I have a fan, I might want to turn that to staged fan so that it stages up as the compressor does. And if I have any other inputs like a supply air temp sensor, enable those. There's some configs for the fan and the CO2 thresholds. And then once you get all that set the way you like, you hit save. And then I have a pairing address. So the HyperStat isn't yet paired or communicating, but as soon as I dock this on the tablet or on the control remote, in about 60 seconds after I get that USB ready, this device will pick up its profile. It'll now know that it's a conventional rooftop unit with 2 heat, 2 cool, and then it'll start sending data back and forth between the two so you can make remote changes. And that's pretty much it. That is the HyperStat pairing and navigation.